Yeah, we're live, Jim.
We're live.
It does say live, so I'm hoping it is live, Jim.
Well,
but,
it's not live.
It's, you know.
We'll wait for a few people to jump on.
Definitely.
How you going, mate?
Yeah, really good, Jim. The last week's been fantastic.
You've actually looked a bit stressed the last few days.
Oh, Jim, it's been busy.
Right,
and a lot of questions being asked and so forth. A lot of new properties coming on the market as well. And at the same time, we had the week, I think it was Wednesday night, we had the live seminar through Zoom and so forth. And which is great. We had a lot of vendors obviously jump on and ask numerous questions in regards to the market conditions and whatnot. I feel stressed. People that own property and so forth, and a lot of questions coming in regarding what we think is going to happen and so forth, and answering those questions, from our point of view, sometimes can be stressful because we don't want to get the wrong information out either, right?
Andrew, it was really interesting when we did that live Zoom talkback, if you like, last Wednesday night, and we had our account rep from realestate.com, Luke Dorr, the amazing Luke Dorr. He's an absolute superstar to us. And he shared some really good information. But I've got to tell you, Andrew, I didn't expect the feedback that we got, the positive feedback that we got, and the engagement from both, people that wanted to know about sales, but importantly, the number of landlords that engaged. And I suppose we can understand that people feel pensive, they feel a little bit, what's the word for it? They're sort of sitting there going, gee, what's going to happen to my property? They're unsure, right? And but I think we're all a bit more positive now than what we
100%.
were certainly at the end of March, and we've spoken about that before. But
we even had buyers jump on as well.
We had buyers jump on,
people that are looking to purchase property as well, not just people that were thinking of selling, because a lot of buyers at the moment, they're thinking that, we'll just sit back and wait and watch the prices drop, and we're like, hasn't happened as yet, and we'll run through a few really good sales in a few moments' time. But it's one of those things. If you're looking at buying, you have to buy, and if the right home comes in the market and you love it, I wouldn't be sitting there waiting for the prices to drop just to buy a property at the right price, if that makes sense.
And I'll tell you the interesting thing. I mean, I get to talk to a lot of other principals, a lot of in our network that are running other offices, and seeing what's happening. I talked to David Devlin out at Craigieburn, and I look at what's happening through that Mickleham-Craigieburn corridor. I talked to Simon Best out at Wallen, and look at what's happening. Talked to Dabby, Paul Dab out at Berwick, and Brenton at Rowville, and Tony Larkin out through Cranbourne and Frankston through that corridor. And then I talked to Harry Contosis at Reservoir, which is a fringe suburb, and Con out at Thomastown, and it's actually, I was gonna say the word interesting. It's not that it's interesting; it's surprising the amount of activity that is taking place, particularly when we look in these outer corridors. I look at the boys out at Werribee Tarneet and through Caroline Springs and Deer Park and that whole corridor, and Melton, and us through here. The activity has been refreshing, hasn't it? It's been 100%, really refreshing.
And that's probably why I'm stressed, because I've been busy.
Well, I've got to tell you, folks. I've never seen this guy pump so many phone calls out. He locks himself in the boardroom or in one of our interview rooms because he doesn't want to be bothered. He puts in his AirPods, got the phone going, got the laptop going or the iPad going, and just smashes out.
It has to be done.
It's got to be done.
It's got to be done. And we've got a lot of clients that we're looking after, and no matter how many clients we're looking after at the same time, every single one of them will be, as we always say, Jim, they have to be spoken to at least once a day. And feedback is more crucial than ever.
It's vital. It's vital.
I appreciate that plug, Jim. It was very nice of you.
It's not a plug, mate. It's a fact. It's not a plug. I'm the first one to jump on your back too and say to you, hey, do this, do that. But, we all go off track. But I've never seen you so focused, mate.
I have to be. I think we're in a market at the moment that we have to be extremely focused as agents, and we're looking after people's prized possessions, right? Their family home, their investment. And given the current circumstance at the moment, now more than ever, we have to be focused, and of course they need our help, right? And as always, the whole sales team here at office is here to help. So so basically, Jim, a lot has changed in the last week.
It always does, doesn't it?
100%. And
things are changing.
Things
really
have changed,
quickly.
and we know as the 1st of June, Jim. Of course, the industry, of course, in real estate, we further relaxed in terms of how many buyers can attend our open for inspections from 10 now to 20, which is fantastic, and that excludes the number of agents, of course, that can attend the property as well. So
and the owners,
the owners, of course, and so basically, meaning if people are looking to attend an open for inspection now, instead of having 10 groups at the open for inspection at the property, we can now have up to 20 buyers attend the open for inspection as well, which is fantastic news.
It's awesome news, and the reality is, what does it mean? The average punter, the average person on the street sort of sits there and says, I see a property, they can jump on our website. You can actually now on our website register for an appointment. Just click the button, bottom right-hand side, it's there. But what does it mean? It means that things are going to be a bit more practical moving forward. It means that, the biggest concern we've had over the last few weeks, since early May when things got relaxed and we could do opens again, the biggest concern we had was, we've got to police 10 people, and that can happen. We had a couple of opens that had 19 groups through and 17 groups through the other day. The reality is most properties we might see 3, 4, 6 people, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But, we were sitting there concerned, what happens if we get more than that? Well, then we have to police it. We've read about agents having to turn people away with some of the early auctions that have had more than 10 people there. And it means, let's think about this, it means that with 10 people, if we've got 10 buyers registered, they can't bring their family along, they can't bring their wives along, their kids, their support crew. Well, now with 20, it's going to make things a little easier. Obviously, for sure. Yeah. So obviously, Andrew, we still have to stick to the protocols, the social distancing, and we give you a little bit of sanitizer when you get there, and we've got gloves available, and we've got masks available. But what we've seen in the last week is a real lift in the number of people out and about. We've certainly noticed it traffic-wise, and we've certainly noticed it through the centre here at Water Gardens. Everyone understands that whilst, all of us in Victoria and Australia have done a great job suppressing the spread of COVID, it's time to get on with things. Right? People are starting to get edgy.
Yes, correct.
I know at home, I look at Andrew and I think, my daughter has been doing uni online and she's stuck at home. She's not working. She can't go to the gym. It starts to get to them.
Of course it would.
And we didn't actually realise it until she got a phone call a couple of days ago from where she worked to say, hey, we're back and we want you back here, in another 3 or 4 weeks. And the joy in that kid, my wife actually said to me last night, I didn't realise the impact that it actually had on her.
100%.
She was putting on a brave front.
Oh, people working from home as well. They don't really enjoy working from home. A couple of people obviously have to adjust with their lifestyle and so forth. Some people obviously enjoy working a couple of days, a week from home and so forth. But nothing's as good as actually going to the office and interacting with people.
And we've had it here, haven't we?
We've
had a lot of the guys. We've been pretty relaxed with them, sort of saying, if you want to work from home, do it. If you want to come in, and reality is now, okay, kids finally. Some kids are back in school. Within 2 weeks, they'll all be back in school, which means that normality, or whatever the new normality is going to be, starts to take shape. And, you look at it even with some of our guys, where they've had to shoot home, the kids are home, their wife or partner might be, doing 2 half days work and all the rest of it. Is that going to be the new normal? I don't know. But with kids back at school, and I think from the 1st of June, with cafes starting, you'll be able to go and sit down at a cafe. You'll probably have to book because they can only have 20 people. But, you'll be able to go and sit down at a cafe, perhaps go to your favourite restaurant if you book early enough. The pubs, hopefully, will start to, I think 1st of June they can have 20 people. 22nd of June they go to 50 people per space. So reality is we start to move on.
Correct.
We're starting to get back into the groove. And we look at that and we think, well, what does that mean to the market, Andrew? Right?
Well, Jim, recently we've had some really, really strong results, and we'll go through a couple as well. We had a property in 11 Sandalwood Avenue in Hillside that sold last week for $670,000, which is fantastic for the peak in Hillside. That property there was on the market, for probably about 3 to 4 weeks, and was just sitting there basically. We had a couple of good offers early on the campaign, and then eventually this week had 2 buyers. Come out and end up competing for it and end up selling for $730,000, which is a great result.
That was a ripper result. And the other one that really stood out to me was Sasha's listing that one in Milne Court.
Yes.
26 Milne Court.
In Delahaye.
And talk about office networking. So one of our guys from St Albans office goes through the property, creates an opportunity. they start negotiating, they get to a roadblock about a week or so ago, they keep negotiating. That's all for a massive $710,000.
Great result.
It's a ripper result
Yeah.
for that particular property. So best of luck
Yeah.
to all of those people.
Yeah, and then we had a property in Taylor's Lakes, only on the market for a week.
Australia Drive.
Australia Drive.
Yeah.
Right, number 67 Australia Drive. A beautiful home.
Beautiful home.
That went on the contract yesterday, which is great. One Cop Junction as well in Sydenham, that also went under offer. That's the property that had almost 40 odd groups go through in a week. Which is great. So that went obviously sold as well. And Jimmy, there's also been a couple other results as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had one in Deer Park, 17 Davitt Street, that sold really well. 301 Taylor's Road in Kings Park sold really strongly with our boys at St Albans. 308 Jamison Street in St Albans. 45 Flint Crescent in Delahaye sold for 480,000. What else was there, Andrew?
Proctor Crescent in Killer Downs?
Yes,
two of 20.
Yeah. That got a ripper result, 510,000. As well. So sales over the last week have been really, really active. But what we're seeing is competition because buyers want to buy. So there is a shortage in listings. We look at all the metrics and you look at, if you follow our office Facebook page, you would have seen our CEO, Mike McCarthy, did his weekly market update last night, and we obviously shared it on our page. But you look at some of the metrics and some of the statistics, buyers want to buy. Not enough vendors are coming on. And the reality is that what we're seeing, due to a shortage of stock, and we've spoken about that over the last month, 6 weeks, due to a shortage of stock, we're still seeing competition. So it's underpinned the values. Last week, Andrew, or the week before, we spoke about some of these doomsayers, some of these so-called property experts that have been coming out with predictions of the market is going to drop 10%, 15%. We've heard up to 32% price drops. I mean, seriously, tell me, if a $600,000 property becomes all of a sudden a $400,000 property, do you reckon we wouldn't have people that would jump on it at, if it's a $600,000 home, at $550,000? They'd jump on it.
Bloody oath.
Right? So how the hell is it going to become, pardon the French, but how's it going to become a $400,000 property? The only way that's going to happen is if all of us lose our job.
Yeah, correct, 100%.
Right? And if it gets to that sort of devastation, well,
is not.
It's not.
No.
But if it does, God help all of us.
Yeah, exactly right.
But right now, that's not the case, and we can't see it happening either. But let's talk about what it looks like moving forward.
Well, we've got some really good listings, Jim.
There have
coming
been.
up.
There's been some beauties,
which is great. We've got a property in Alua Court in Keilor Downs. Now that's a perfect first home or investor's opportunity. 1A Alua Court, 450 to 480, 3-bedroom villa with a great sized backyard as well. So that's in the market. You've also got one in Sambuca Court, Jim.
Yeah, one Sambuca Court in Sydenham. Property that's currently tenanted. The tenants would love to stay there until the end of the year. They're a great young couple. They've been there for a while. It's a really, really nice home spread out over a corner block, but spacious. 3 bedrooms and a study or a 4th bedroom. It's got lounge, dining, kitchen, meals, family, separate rumpus, outdoor alfresco area with a beautiful spa, plus a barbecue area, plus a double garage. And it's awesome value at high 5s, early 6s. It's priced right. It's a great home. Perfect home for a first home buyer as well, or someone that's even upgrading from perhaps a unit or an apartment.
And great location as well.
Ripper
Easy access to water gardens. Yeah, correct, definitely.
Walk to the station.
We also had one in 16 Bowman Court in Tallersill, a lovely 4-bedroom property. Yeah, very, very clean, freshly painted, new carpets, great location as well. That property there, we're currently offering that at $700,000 as an asking price, although that may sell in the next 24, 48 hours as well. We do have some really good interest on that property as well. And we've also got one in Brinton Lane, which is one of those warehouses.
That is, It's in Caroline Springs. That's a cracker. That's polished concrete floors, double garage.
Really cool.
It's a really cool sort of place, and that's on at 5 to 550. So that should generate some really good interest very quickly. I really like though a home that we sold years ago that you've just listed again.
Gorgeous home.
93 Sarabelle. Tell us a bit about that.
Oh, Jim, it's a Victorian style home, facade wise. It's a gorgeous home, beautiful gardens, 4 bedrooms and a study. It's had the most amazing renovation right throughout the property. So well done to the vendors. They currently own the home, and that's listed at $890 to $960. It's got a gorgeous in-ground swimming pool as well. And they've updated.
What about that theatre room, man? You don't need to go to the cinemas.
That theatre room is amazing. And Jim, that's staying as is.
So all the
recliners, the equipment,
Wow.
everything is staying as
Wow.
is. So
Cool.
that just went online last night. So that's going to be a really, really exciting opportunity for anyone that's upsizing,
Yeah, great.
or currently lives in the area and so forth.
Yeah.
And then we've also got one in Grandview Crescent, number 33, a 4-bedroom double-story home.
That's a double story.
Yeah, in
Yep.
Bellevue, great part of the area.
Yep.
Grandview Crescent's a gorgeous street. That's listed at $720 to $770.
You used to live around there.
I did, Jim.
In that estate.
I do miss that a little part of
that
the area.
estate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then the property in Wolverston Avenue in Hillside, number 73. A similar type of home, double story, private sale, $760,000 to $820,000 as well.
Okay. I think the important thing, though, that people have to realise, particularly any buyers that are watching, is that not all of these homes are online.
Correct.
You know, Allawa Court, for example, we've had it there for a week.
Yep.
That's already got interest and will possibly be under contract in the next 24, 48 hours. Not online. Sambuco Court, not online. So what people should do is jump on our website,
Yep.
contact our sales team, or jump on our website and register for our early alert system. So there's a number of properties that what we're doing is we're launching them internally just to our database. So contact Andrew or any of our sales team, register your details or jump on our website and do it. And if you're looking anywhere in Melbourne, just jump on, and you want a specific suburb, there's a Barry Plant office there more often than not. Jump on and register on their website, and the sales teams will give you access to properties as they
come on.
I
think if I was a buyer, honestly, and I've given this advice to a couple of my vendors that I've sold for, and they're looking to buy,
Yep.
I would contact your local agent, and as Jim just said, give us a call or send us a message through Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
Or any social media platform, and just let us know exactly what you're looking for, price point, location, and we can tell you now, as Jim just said before, we've got these off-market opportunities that they don't last long.
No, they don't. They don't.
And we'll obviously give you those details if we have your details. So
Correct.
if you're definitely interested to buy and want to know those off-market opportunities, just flick us your details.
Yeah, and what we're starting to see now, Andrew, we're starting to schedule auctions again.
Yeah, which is great.
We've got a few scheduled for the
20th,
I
yep.
think, 20th of June are
Yep.
our first ones that we've got scheduled. And of course, our plan is, and what we think is going to happen, is that we should see more auctions being scheduled as we head into July. We expect as restrictions ease a little bit further, it'll obviously make it easier for people to get out and about. But, I still come back to the fact, I think, in another week or 2 weeks, we're all going to be sitting here, albeit we don't get any other breakouts and all the rest of it. But I think we've all done a good job. I think we all understand, the protocols now and the way that we have to live.
Yep.
And I think if we do that, Andrew, we should start seeing a little bit more easing, and hopefully people have a bit more confidence to understand, guess what? The property market didn't tumble. They were telling us in March it was going to be the end of the world. Fast forward 2.5 months, we're looking back saying, hey, what? We all got through it. We're sort of, doing whatever we have to do. We're not shaking hands, we're not hugging and all the rest of it, but we've all got through it reasonably well. And I think that we want to get back to some normality.
Correct.
We certainly do, and I know most people certainly do, Andrew. But that's the message for this week.
Yeah, definitely. And just to quickly touch on what we discussed very early is basically we had the Zoom webinar. We had a few people that couldn't make it that evening. Last Wednesday, we obviously scheduled that in, and we had, as I said, great feedback from our landlords, from obviously potential vendors that are looking to sell, and of course buyers as well. So we're going to schedule another one late June, Jim?
I think so.
Around that time.
Yeah.
So
I think we'll be in a position there to offer, rather than just the weekly update that we're doing now. We should hopefully have some more metrics, Andrew.
100%.
To be able to offer people a bit more, information that hopefully can assist them.
Yeah, definitely. So if you're interested in obviously joining us through the Zoom webinar, just all we need is your details, your name and your email address, and we'll flick you an email with the details. And of course, if you need anything at all, any questions, as always, we're here to help.
Give us a
So thank you very much again for everyone to join us this week, and we'll speak to you very shortly.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Have a great week.
See ya. Bye.